Meditation and slow practices, absolutely essential, one of 10 Ayurvedic daily rituals. And since it's just an absolute wonderful way to really connect with ourselves and to get away from all this busyness that people seem to suffer from, this disease that they've made up in their heads. Business and a fast nervous system, well, if you've got 100 thoughts going around every 10 seconds, how do we know which one's good? Or which one's even beneficial? Especially when people have got so many imbalances in their body and outside influences with all frequencies going on. And by my experience, hundreds of meters of parasites controlling their belief system and nervous system. How do they know which is right? It's tricky. Very tricky. And so what helped me tremendously was, like, I'm a fire guy, right? I've done marathons, 100k ultra marathons, adventure races, all sorts of, always on the go. But when I started to transition into Tai Chi and Qigong with some slow practices, it was absolutely wonderful because my body stopped breaking down because I was too busy burning around everything. And it's because, and if we're burning, we don't have, naturally our mind wants to be always busy, then we burn out our lower centers and our nervous system. And if, for fire people in particular, and let's face it, we're the only ones who are going to transform, is we need the water element to create. So we need to nurture our reproductive system and lots of fats and oils and things, because fire and water are the transitional or transformational elements. So if we don't have the water element sorted because we've been burning up everything, we're screwed. We're going to have a lot of, that's why we have so many prostate cancer problems and reproductive system issues, and then we pass them on to our children. We don't need that. So and then once I'd gone into Qigong and done that for maybe a year, it automatically just came into my world, energy healing and slow meditation and Zen meditation. And I ended up doing about 6 or 7 different kinds of energy healings, and it was all slow. And because I'd removed a lot of the inflammation out of my diet, and it was nourishing with lots of oils and much more minerals, I was able to transition quite comfortably. But if we're buzzing around and eating a lot of carbs and a lot of chemicals and stuff in our body, it's almost impossible to actually sit down and meditate with Zen very quickly, because we've got a lot of imbalances in our body and they're going to show up. And lots of critters and things don't want us to slow down because they want to be fast-paced and busy and always on adrenaline and eating carbs and destroying ourselves, because that's what their goal is. They want to destroy our bodies to be able to feast on them properly without us getting in the way and actually feeding them. Most people are feeding their critters and things. So it's kind of, in a way, it's an internal battle between, say, a lot of people, for fire people in particular, we got a lot of fungus that's going on, and that fungus always wants us to be busy to create an acidic state. So for 30 years, I was in a massive acidic state, and that would cause me to be always running, always moving, always bashing my body essentially. And that created massive inflammation, and of course that means weak and brittle bones. And then if we actually break down, we don't have enough movement or enough practices and our daily habits, like green smoothies and things, to reduce the inflammation, so we actually increase the amount of fungus and therefore parasites in our body. This is not pretty. And so by slowing down, we start to realize those messages. Oh, maybe I should have some coconut oil, or maybe I've got to change this thing in my nutrition, or maybe some slow practices, or not yelling at that person and telling them that they're an idiot also is the best idea. So while meditation straight from being busy all the time is quite tricky, how about something slow and in between? So something like anything that brings presence, and we can be absolutely focused and present, mindfulness. So Qigong is amazing, Tai Chi is fantastic, any type of energy healing or Reiki on yourself is absolutely wonderful. Reading, it's great. Bushwalking with absolute slow motion, or walking with pure presence like you're a priest or a priestess, is fantastic. Walking along the beach with our feet in the water, moving some energy through the crown and out through the feet and back up, also wonderful options. So anything that inspires you that is slow and with presence is an amazing, ideally daily ritual, but if we can just bring it in once or twice a week and then see what it does for you. Because people always ask me if, this practice or that practice is right. Well, right is duality. You don't need right and wrong. My answer and question is, what does it do for you? Does it bring balance to your life? Does it provide some solace and some presence? And how does that affect your relationships and your life around you? Slow practices and in between slow practices with presence and mindfulness. Worth a shot? I think so.